There they
Oh,
are,
they're here. Perfect.
Ben and Matthew.
What's up,
Awesome.
y'all?
Yes.
What's going
So
on?
my
I
name's
love
Ben.
the backdrop, by the way. Okay, the backdrop has been sweet for
What
all
color
of
do
you.
you see? What color do you see? Like David, what like legit? What color is this that you see on
Is
here?
this an existential question? Is white?
No, it's a
Right?
literal question. Like, what is this color?
Is it not white?
Okay,
It's
we've been
white,
trying to
right?
figure out if like the shade, how the shade moves through, because like it's more of like a pale blue on our end.
Yeah.
But apparently it just looks like
Huh.
this very bright background.
Yeah.
So with the sound that he made.
Right, like that was a revelation.
No, okay, it's also 2 a.m. for us. So like I think we're just going off of tangents.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been up for how long? 18 hours?
We've been up for a very long time.
Yeah.
What time did you get here this morning?
I actually got in at 10. Wait, no, I slept.
Oh,
Because I got in
got
yesterday. I got in yesterday.
That's
Because
right.
like, yeah, because so Matthew and I were both in Philadelphia for a state house race there that we won. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I got in on Monday, but like Matthew stayed all the way through election night.
Yeah, so election night we went to the election party per usual. That didn't end until like 11-ish. Got back to the Verbo at 12. I didn't go to sleep until probably minutes to 1. Woke up at 4 a.m., caught a flight, another flight, so 2 connecting flights, and then I made my way to Tampa. And then by the time I got here, it was around 2 p.m., right? And then by 2:30, I was taking a nap just to wake up by 4:30, head over here by 5. And then we've been taking part in this 24-hour lecture ever since, and we are not going to take any naps.
That's cold. So
So
Yeah. Seriously.
well,
I was
this
just
is
trying to check in on you guys. What the
Yeah.
nap schedule was.
come to
Listen,
common
I-
power and never sleep. That's the message. Okay.
Right. But also I feel like it is the duty of the younger generation to outlast the older generation.
Yep.
So like Charles, Dr. Scott, Dr. Yohu can get knocked, but we can't, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Are they like
I'm
laying on
sorry.
the
Hold
floor?
on. Wait a
Oh,
minute.
I'll be with you.
Wait a minute. I gotta
You're
speak
not
for.
in Action Academy.
But listen. I need to rep Dr. Terry Ann Scott, who's still awake and working. Okay, she's working right
Yeah,
now.
but I'm also saying that y'all have to take a nap sometime within today, and we ain't.
All right.
That's it.
We'll see about
If we
that.
could transition this, can we transition
We'll
this so I can go lay down? Okay, can we go?
Yeah, of course, David, you can leave right now. I mean, Matthew, we got this. So here's the thing, right?
Awesome.
Matthew actually was not planned to come here, but when he heard about it, he volunteered. And that is exactly the spirit and the kind of people that Action Academy produces, right? Because think about this, like Action Academy started in what, 2020? I was in the OG cohort, the first cohort, and Larson can talk more about that. But it's only been 3 years, and there have been young people that have gone through this program that were catalyzed. Like I was one of those people. I did not ever think that I would give up so much of my graduate school time to be in other states doing political work, like doing electoral work. Like I'm going to school for local government. This is the opposite of local government. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And it is exactly because of the programming, the speakers, and truly the impact that Action Academy has made on me and has definitely made on Matthew, you know?
Yeah, the caveat with Action Academy that I want to point out is that like I transitioned from going in okay, it's $1,000 at the end of the summer and you only do 2-hour Zooms. That was all I cared about.
Oh, we care about the same thing. We came for the money, y'all.
Exactly.
We came for the money.
And then
Great.
you go through it and you go through it and then you participate every week and then you get to the end of the summer and that money hits your account. But then there's like a hesitation because it's almost like you thought you reached the hill and you thought the climax was the money, but it wasn't. It was the experience, and that experience continued to shape us not only throughout that year following Action Academy, but when we came back the year after as crew leads, and you can attest to that.
Yeah, because we seek it out. We seek out what this experience can become beyond Action Academy. I can pinpoint the exact moment when it stopped being money to me. Like it was actually when we invited in Bob Zellner, who will be one of our later speakers today, not today. Everything is today because it's 24 hours.
Mm.
But later in this teaching, Bob Zenner is going to come and I can pinpoint the exact moment when I was like, oh my goodness, like this is it, like this is it. And it's when he was talking about his decades and decades of work and how he's still in it. And this man is over 80 years old, right? Like he has been doing this for more than I've been alive twice and thrice over. And to see myself in the long chain of change makers and can envision myself as the next one, or as Larcy would put it, being handed the effing baton, that was one of the most powerful moments to me. And that was when I was like, all right, Larcy, what else do we have to do?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and
yeah.
oddly enough, he was also a pivotal moment for me in
Mhm.
Action Academy, because like this idea of this white guy that comes from a racist family, right? His dad was a member of the KKK. Like that was just unfathomable to me. Like I could not believe that. And it was really difficult to swallow at first. But then you listen to him speak, and then you understand his principles and his philosophy, and it just shocked me, and it completely revolutionized the way I approached Action Academy after that.
Yep. So we're catalyzed by people and by their stories. And I'm gonna let Larcy and Blossom, Larcy, the executive director of CP Future, and Blossom, the new program coordinator for Action Academy, take it from here, how they're sustaining this movement and how they're bringing in new people and new stories.
And
to
a
change-
recent
What?
and a recent graduate as well,
Who?
Blossom.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's the thing.
Mhm.
Like, so Larcy's very into this generational thing. So like people from previous cohorts come back to mentor and educate the next cohort. That is how we inspire each other. That is how we learn from each other. And that is how we show that there are people who can look like us, be like us, and do this work. So, all right,
And a recent graduate as well.
hold on. Yes, Blossom is a recent graduate. We get it. Okay.
No, like college.
Oh, you mean college?
Yes, but it works both ways. It works both ways. Yes,
Yeah.
Blossom recently graduated from Hood College as well.
Yeah.
I just like to shout out Blossom.
I'm also
Congrats.
graduating. Are you shouting out me?
Oh, I didn't know that.
You for real?
Shout out Ben. y'all. Shout out Ben. Yes.
Okay, a bunch of people are graduating this year, but we won't shout them all out because we gotta get going. I
That's
can
right.
feel Terry staring at me from 3 walls. All
She's like, hurry up, wrap it up, y'all. Wrap it up.
right, take it over, Larcy.
Well, thank you both, Ben and Matthew and David and Jordan, of course, for that wonderful introduction. Honestly, yes, I am Larcy. I am the director here at Common Power, co-created, really, it was a collaboration of launching Action Academy, but I think you heard it already from Matthew and Ben. Technically, I don't need to be here, so can I sign off? Because you guys could take this. You could totally run it, but of course, I volunteer for this, and I also am here to support all the endeavors of the Institute and what everyone here who's hosting this. As a team live there from Florida, many of us have broken through the time zone barrier and are at day 2. I'm live in Seattle here from my home, so I'm still kind of in day 1. Appreciate the words, both of you. And yes, we are here joined also with Blossom. But really quick, Action Academy, yes, it was launched in 2020 with this idea that we wanted to provide a virtual summer internship for college students to learn about voting rights history and to really analyze history so that it can better equip us for our future. And in our inaugural program that Ben was talking about, there were over 60 students who joined the program. And I'm happy to say that last Friday, we closed our applications for 2023, and we'll be welcoming over 100 students into the program this year. And so that's a big set of growth for this program. And in fact, to support what the Institute is doing, we are reopening the application. So if you go to cpfuture.org, the application link is live already. And so if you know of any young college age student, Gen Zers who want to be in a community that Ben and Matthew are speaking about, send them that link. We are reopening the application for anyone who is hearing about the teach-in, who is watching the teach-in, to apply to the cohort this summer. So it's a 10-week virtual program where students can really learn about voting rights history and all the different ways they can be active citizens. And yeah, they're right. At the end, they get $1,000. What student doesn't want that kind of money to have also financial freedom at the end of the summer? So at Action Academy, we have 3 core principles. Education is foundational for democratic engagement. We really have to learn our history and analyze it so that it really better equips us for that future. And we must invest in our next gen leaders. As you can see here with Blossom and Matthew and Ben are just among the young folks who've gone through the program and are really leading awesome efforts to really model what it needs to, what we need to do and be active citizens. And this way, if we invest in those young leaders, they take us further into the future. We allow the passing of the baton so that they can take it further generationally out there. And that we, as older members of this intergenerational grouping, we have to create and provide easy on-ramps to civic life, because we want to allow them to practice all the ways that civics becomes a lifestyle. So throughout this segment, the application, like I said, is live and it will be live for 24 hours, but we'll be hearing from other folks, from not just Ben and not just Matthew, but we're going to hear other people who are going to be joining this segment and this hour with you all. And you can learn from their experience through Action Academy, how they got catalyzed, how it is so important that education and how we learn from history and how education is a foundation to democratic engagement, because it provides for academic and educational freedom. And that is what is being attacked right now, is this process of eliminating and gutting all of these educational systems that limit their ability to access educational freedom. And we'll hear about thoughts of how they want to continue this engagement, how programs like Action Academy and organizations like Common Power are showing them all the vital ways to be active citizens. So here with me is Blossom, our new program assistant for this summer, and she will be hosting this segment throughout this hour, introducing and bringing in the other young leaders into this program. So Blossom, where are you zooming in from, or where are you live from, and what time is it where you're at? Oh, you're on mute. Unmute.
Okay, so I'm zooming in from DC. It's 2:11 over here, so it's pretty early/late. Good evening to those on the West Coast, and then good morning to those on the East Coast. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Blossom. I am, like she said, Larcy, the new program assistant. I have been catalyzed as well. I started off as a student in the cohort 2021. And then I was a crew lead after that for the state of North Carolina. And then after that, I was like, hey, what else can I do? And that's the thing that CP, especially Action Academy, does for the students. They want to see, or they actually inspire you to want more from yourself. And CP always jokes with me that I'm a STEM kid, how did I get into this? And it's more so making sure that I'm well-rounded and making sure that everybody has a seat at the table. Because just because I'm heavily into STEM, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't know anything about voting rights. And especially being from DC, where we always talk about taxation without representation, what else can I do as a Washingtonian? But we're going to have so much fun for this segment. Thank you so much, Ben and Larcy, for introducing me. In a couple of minutes, we'll have Puya and Kyra. Kyra is going to be a crew lead this cohort. She was a student last year. And then we have Puya, who, he has all types of capacities in CP. He trained me for field work and that is another part of CP that's very important and very interesting for me, because my first experience was in Washington, and it was a rich, big neighborhood of the mountains. It was so fun, and it was just a great experience. So, like I said, in a few minutes, we'll have Puya and Kyra.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Blossom, for that. And you know, Matthew and Ben, I think, you know, you said you're not gonna take a nap whatsoever, but if you sneak away for an extended period, we know what you're really doing. I'm gonna call it out right now. No, I'm shaking your head over here. All good, all good. So I really like, my heart is really empowering young people, because their vision for what a future should be and could be is this idea that we have so much more to live for. And that inspires me in continuing a vision of programming that allows them to practice that, to give them the tools to go for it. And in Action Academy, and learning from like a Bob Zellner or a Joanne Bland and all the many guest speakers that come into Action Academy as facilitators, as lecturers, we get to learn from them, and they can converse with us, and they engage with us in problem solving and critical thinking, to say, you know what, this is how it is. What are some ways we can improve this? What are some ways we can take the model here and move it forward and move it along? Because democracy is something that we should progress and really work towards evolving it and expanding it, not so much just perfect it. And I think that is why we can go into a program like Action Academy, to allow them to get those wheels turning, get those thoughts to turn, to say, you know what, you have this lifetime ahead of you to create a society that is just and inclusive. And then also, as Dr. Williams earlier said, be that challenger, to say, I want to challenge these, but in order to challenge something, you got to know where the shortcomings are. And in order to do that, you got to learn from the people previously from you. So I'm going to step away because it is a Gen Z takeover. They're going to be the ones talking more about the program and how really catalyzing it has been. And I'm just honored that they trusted in the program model. They trusted in an organization like Common Power and the leaders at Common Power and everyone involved in this ecosystem, so that they can practice those civic muscles. And really, like Ben was saying, is learning from older folks and wiser folks to see what this type of lifestyle really is, your commitment to making sure that democracy continues to evolve and include others, and what is happening right now in Florida, where it's eliminating or reducing these options to achieve educational and academic freedoms. That's not something we're about. We want to make sure that students like a Ben and a Matthew and a Blossom and the rest of the folks that you're going to hear soon, that they achieve that. And so thank you all for staying tuned in. And I said earlier, some of you broke through the time zone barrier to technically day 2 in the AMs, wherever you are. So please hang on with us. We are going to continue to learn from some more amazing teachers. But I'm going to step away and allow you to meet a lot more amazing young folks. Thank you, Blossom. Thank you, Ben. And have a great time.
So I'm back. Hey guys. So to introduce Kyra and Puya again. So Kyra is a crew lead this cohort. She'll talk more about her experience with CP and Action Academy. And then we have Puya, who he has like several hats in CP. So he'll also talk about his experience. And then we'll get into a little bit of a conversational piece of how Florida and these new bills being possibly passed might affect us as students.
Hi, I'm Kyra. I graduated from Action Academy last summer, and I'll be returning this summer as a crew lead. I was on Team Georgia, and I'm very excited to be here tonight.
Hi everybody, I'm Puya. I started with Gun Power through Action Academy in the summer of 21. I started becoming more involved afterwards with leading Team Georgia and coming back as a crew lead. And now I do more work with the fieldwork department. You met Ben earlier. I work directly with her, so yeah.
Okay, where are you guys zooming in from? I mean, I know, but they don't know. So can we just tell them real quick?
I'm zooming in from Maryland, so it's really late or really early, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I'm zooming in from Seattle. Got back from actually Philadelphia. We were on the trip earlier this morning, so it's been a long day, but a very good day.
Sorry, Puya, but thank you so much for participating.
Mhm.
Kyra, I would like to start with you first. How exactly has your experience with Action Academy shaped you as a student, like in school? And then also, how has it shaped you as a person?
I think that before Action Academy, I was very interested in politics and civic engagement, but I didn't necessarily know how to put that interest into action other than, these like going to protests or just some things to clear up, but throughout the year and how I can educate other people. So when I learned about Action Academy through Dr. Scott, and then I went through the cohort, it taught me how to hone skills and actually get involved and get other people involved. And it kind of lit a fire under my butt to keep wanting to go through different processes, not just in my state. So teaching other students who are my age or people younger than me in a way that's digestible has just become really important to me.
Okay, and Puya, what about you?
Yeah, I think Action Academy has been an amazing program, and I'm super lucky to have had the opportunity to go through it. Similar to Kyra, I think I was politically active, I would say, trying to learn more, trying to do more stuff. But it was missing that structure of taking that specific history, that knowledge is very vital to this work, and turning that into action. And it's organized action. It's not just me getting out on the streets, for example, doing something that I feel like it's useful, but it's actually there's structure around the credits so you can see how you can impact other people's lives. That's a privilege, honestly, to have that opportunity to go through this program and also have that structure afterwards to take action.
Right, and I think that we're very appreciative for a program like Action Academy and grateful that we were able to go through it. And just to kind of tie in what exactly is going on with the teaching and a program like Action Academy, I would like to get into like a little conversational piece. We're all students here, and I would like to know exactly like how you guys feel about the governor's decision around defunding, DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at Florida public colleges. You guys being in college, does that make you guys feel threatened at all? Like for me, I feel like, it's not too far from if it could happen in Florida, it can definitely happen in DC, Maryland, or anything as such. So I'll let whoever wants to grab it first, Puya, if you would like.
I think what I've learned from CP very well is that whatever happens in one part of the country is not going to just stay over there. It is a threat to every person in this country. And we have seen it with other issues as well. And I think when it comes to diversity, inclusion, equity, I'm also just like graduating with my undergrad degrees and everything that I am learning and graduating all my degrees, everything is directly tied to DI. So that getting a nod funded properly would mean that I would not be graduating in things that I'm interested in and the work that I want to do in my life. So it is disappointing, it is disheartening, and also in a way motivating for me to take more action. So students in Florida and across the country have the access to truth and also what they want to learn and what they want to focus on in life.
I think for me, it's just this idea that, you know, when you go to college, you don't just stay in your home state, you travel. A lot of students travel out of state. And so it's just fearful, like he was saying, I wouldn't be able to get the same degree or undergrad in African American studies in Maryland that I would in Florida if this passes, and it would be so vastly different. And thinking of people going into the world with different understandings of history and how difficult that would be. And also it kind of just erases you as a student. When you go to college, you go to find yourself, learn about other people, and it's stripping that and removing that away from students and taking the opportunity away from them. And it's sad, it's really scary.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with both you and Puya. It's very disheartening, and it's a bit shocking to know that a lot of the curriculum that a lot of people already fought to put within schools, you know, and they only highlight only like very small amount of truthful history, is already going to be erased this fast. Like nothing is actually going to be put out or exposed anymore, which is necessary. Sometimes it's okay to call out things, and it's not about making people feel guilty about their racial past being in a certain group, but it's more about making everybody aware and how where they stand in history and what has happened and what we can do going forward. But again, thank you so much, Puya and Kyra. Puya, I'm so sorry you look so tired. And also, I wanted to take a note because Matthew said that I did not call him out. Thank you so much, Matthew, for introducing me. That's how we are. We're like a family. Me and Matthew actually just have this love-hate relationship, but that's like my bro. But uh, Puya and Kyra. Hi. I was about to say something. Um, so what are you looking forward to for this new cohort, Kyra?
This summer, I'm looking forward to seeing people get as excited as I was for the different speakers. Last summer, I would really like the session we did on media and misinfo, and that actually gave me the ability to work with CP again. So I'm excited to see what other people get excited for.
And Puya, you still are a bit a part of Action Academy. Are you looking forward to guiding the crew leads in a way as they have responsibilities and roles with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every cohort there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of young folks to come through who are our age. And I would love for them to get involved with us and stay with us and do more work and take that education to action. So yeah, so want them to be on the ground, door knock with us. I'll be there, so hopefully they'll be there too.
Yeah, don't just leave us, Puya. We definitely still will want to have you. So very soon we're gonna have two new, gonna be Sam and Ani. Sam was a student just like Kyra, and he is going to be a crew lead this year. And Ani, just like Puya, wears many, many different hats. And we are graced with both of their presence. Once you see them, it's going to be so amazing because both of them have great personalities. Kyra and Puya, y'all both have great personalities as well. Let me put that out there. Love both of y'all. But Sam and Ani are about to shatter the ground a little bit, and we're going to get into them very soon. So Sam and Ani, as you guys are coming in, just tell me where you guys are zooming in from and which cohort you guys came from and how has Action Academy just shaped you and shaped your view around politics as well.
Awesome. Well, I don't mind starting. My name is Sam Grant. I'm so excited to be a crew lead for this 2023 Action Academy cohort. I was a member of the 2022 summer cohort, the best cohort, in my opinion. So I believe that Action Academy has given me such an in-depth knowledge of politics and advocacy and honestly coalition and community building. I was very active in politics prior to Action Academy, but I feel like no fellowship or program that I've done has scratched the surface of what Action Academy can provide. So that experience really inspired me and continues to propel me in my CP journey. And I am so excited and grateful for the opportunity to help provide that to this next cohort.
I'm Ani. I was in the spring 2021 cohort, and then I led it twice as well. And I'm zooming in from New York, my school library, NYU. But Action Academy kind of, it was an eye-opening experience. It really kickstarted my political achievements. I have gone canvassing in multiple states. I've led different canvassing trips in multiple states, and it has really just been such an enriching experience, and it has opened the door to really anything that I could ever imagine.
So you, as you just mentioned on the canvassing, so I want to get into that a little bit. What was canvassing like with CP? Did they train you? Did you have fun? What type of experiences were you having? As well as Sam, I'm not sure if you canvassed with CP, but let me know your own experiences because Sam is like a pro at everything. This is our own politician at CP. But go ahead, you guys can take that back.
Yeah, so with CP, I've started off never knowing anything. And they held my hand through the whole time, the whole first half of the trip. And then I could do everything by myself. It was, sorry. So they opened, okay, apologies. They allowed me to just thrive as the young person I am in these situations. They showed me how to do it, and then I kind of was on my own, and then eventually I was teaching others how to do it as well, leading the trips. I spent 2 weeks in Milwaukee. That was probably one of my favorite trips I've been on. And it has been an amazing experience, just talking to voters, teaching them what they may or may not know about when it comes to voting. And it's just makes me feel very warm.
I would say that my canvassing experience with CP has, in a lot of ways been similar to the training I received in Action Academy in the sense that it really goes into depth and connects the canvasser to, why we're here in the first place. I have been on 2 trips with CP, one to Georgia for their general election, and just most recently, Pennsylvania, where we helped secure the win for Heather Boyd. Shout out to her, absolutely phenomenal candidate. But honestly, I feel like really it's a different vibe canvassing with CP than in other spaces. I know when I'm canvassing back home, whether it's for the party or it's for a particular campaign, I feel like the focus is more on meeting a target and meeting a benchmark. Rather with CP, I think that our main objective is in canvassing is to make lasting impressions and connections that are going to last far beyond the time we leave that door. And I feel like that is what truly makes a difference. And that is what makes us effective on our trips.
Thank you, Sam and Ani, so much again. Like my experiences with canvassing, I had so much fun. Although Seattle, like I said, a lot of mountains, hills, that was very interesting for me. I was like, Ben, I don't think my little niece can take this. I'm 5'3", like I can't do this. But yeah, canvassing, even with people who they might not be voting for the person that you're, you know, pitching for or anything of that sort, the respect level and the fact that people are out there saying like, I'm so happy that your generation is still coming out here and knocking doors, that means everything to me. It opened up my eyes when it came to field work. And let's not forget the success of we are, like Larcy said, reopening up the application today for 24 hours. And Action Academy, like I had a great experience. For me to be a program assistant, I mean, it had to do something we did. And I would like offer this opportunity to anyone that I know, which I have. I have sent the applications to thousands of my friends, like, hey, come on, it's not just about the 1K that you get at the end, but like the people that you're meeting, the crew leads that you have, the relationships that you will build means everything. And it becomes something, a part of your life, and it helps you with morale. And when you see things happening, such as like bills that will defund DEI programs, it lights a fire in you to now go out and fight the good fight. So thank you all again for having us for this section, for this night/morning for East Coast. Again, please, the application is open for 24 hours. Anyone that you know above 18, come join. We'll have orientation just in case if you're confused. We'll let you know what Action Academy is and how we're going to go about this 10 weeks. It's going to be extremely fun. The crew leads are cool. It's Gen Z. I mean, like the best generation out here. Sorry to others, but yeah, like just come in, join. It's going to be so much fun this summer.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna riff. I think Larcy, you and I should talk more about Action Academy and like how we break down that program. that actually gives these experiences.
Oh, and we're back.
We're back.
We're back. Okay,
Okay.
so you all heard from the Gen Zs who are either coming back into Action Academy as crew leads or are continuing their leadership development journey through our program and through our ecosystem here at CP. So not only do they learn tangible history and really learn historical elements, all of the themes around voting rights, but they get to turn around and have practical practices and where they can implement it and do skill building. Yes, they are coordinating, they are planning. We learn from organizers, we learn from campaign managers. These are skills that can be a bullet point on somebody's resume to do time management, to be liaisoning, communicating. Like there's so many things that students are learning. And yes, we do benefit from that work as well because they are helping us expand our organization. But again, we want to make sure that students come into our ecosystem and that wherever their journey takes them back out to society, into the institutions and other organizations that are beyond CP, is that they carry with them that mindset. They carry with them this just and inclusive lens of what society should be and challenge the systems out there that are not doing so. So Ben, you said earlier that you were an OG because you're from the OG cohort back in 2020, and it has been 3 years, and really we've graduated over 200 students out of the program. And at first we had 6 states, students from 6 different states that were joining based on our warm connections and people who were like, you think you would be cool, or you think you want to join a program to get $1,000, right? But I was just looking at our current application, and we're at close to, I think, like 29 states now. So our reach is getting bigger.
29 states and 4 countries.
4 countries, yep. We
Yeah.
talked to some folks about how to pay students around from those countries. But you and Matthew have been through the program, and again are extending that leadership journey. So in your experience, and you've helped me tremendously in really improving the curriculum based on feedback on what the students want to learn more about, dive deeper in, and maybe there's a figure in history that we just touched, but then want to know more about. So if you were explaining Action Academy to a brand new student listening in right now, wherever they're at in the global scale, how would you explain what that journey is for that student?
I feel like if I start, it's gonna go down the technical route, because I feel like I can list off the intentionality that we have in structuring Action Academy so that you can take education into action. But I feel like if you're looking for but I feel like that's I don't know, that's a master level course of Intro to Action Academy, right?
Well,
But
you know what?
Matthew,
Yeah, well, you know what? That's an answer that we need too. But I think I'll speak to the diversity of the program. Obviously, there's a large number of states like we listed, and in those states we get a crazy different amount of ethnicities, religions, genders, with sexual identities, all of these things. And so when people come together on this place, and also people who share completely different political ideals at some points in time. And so when you put all these people in the same space, and then we have discussions, and sometimes these discussions can turn into debates, and sometimes those debates are healthy and sometimes they're not. But that's a part of the process. It's that disagreement sometimes is what spurs growth. And it's the acknowledgement that it's okay to mess up sometimes, right? That's something that I found I'm not only comfortable with at CP and Action Academy, but in a professional space in general now. There is no real growth without failure. But it's all these different personalities kind of meshing together that kind of fine tune how we approach each other, how we approach ourselves, and how we represent what we care about.
Yeah, I feel it really is that. So like Action Academy, at the end of the day, it is what you put into it, right? Like I feel like I'm gonna divulge something about the application that I shouldn't. But like there is a reason why we have over 100 applicants, and there's a reason why we have such huge cohorts. It's because we believe that democracy to be accessible means that we shouldn't put restraints or conditions
Yes.
on learning
Yes.
about democracy and learning how to participate and practice democracy. And therefore, that means that we accept people. We meet people where they're at. And that means that in a single cohort, like I've had peers who this is the first time that they're learning about the government structure that governs them, right? And I've had peers who, a lot like Kyra and Sam and Ani, like have been like doing this for years. They've been involved and they just want to know more. So like Action Academy is built with the intention that there is something for everybody along that spectrum, and you will be moved. You will be moved beyond where you first started. And if that is a success.
Yes.
Right? Because like I came in with a completely separate focus than what I have now. I was trying to be a foreign service officer, y'all. The $1,000 was trying to tie me over the pandemic until I can take the foreign service officer exam.
Yes.
You know? And
Yeah.
like that was like still on the table. And like I've already had doubts because of the pandemic that we were in. My observations on my Fulbright abroad, and then now Action Academy really sealed the deal that the change that I want to make, that the impact that I want to have is on this level. It is local, it is with people I live with, it's people that I see every day. And that's what I got out of it, because I put stuff into it, right? If I just cared about the money, and that's fine. If you care about money, you care about the money. I can't judge. But like if you end the program just caring about the money, that's fine too. Because we believe that just because you spent time with us, you will get something from it, right? Because you showed up, like you showed up and maybe you participated with your camera off. Maybe you are part of this. You do it while you were holding down a full-time job. You got it.
Because I mean, look, $1,000 is a lot of money for 4 hours a week. You know what I'm saying?
No, not
So-
4 hours a week. It's like
Well, two hour Zooms. More
52 hours.
total. That was really how many hours it was?
For a week, 12 weeks, 48.
Okay, all right.
Anyway,
52 hours. But regardless, it was an appealing opportunity, right? And it was appealing for a very specific set of reasons.
mhm,
And as you know, I came into it of the mindset that, and I'll try not to get too deep here, but I was of the mindset that my vote didn't matter, and then that civics did not matter, and that politics were worthless. And by the time I was done, it became an offense, a visceral offense to me to see anybody else, especially another Black man, because I started to take it personal, who thought that same way that I did before. Because I went through Action Academy, you learn this history, and what Puya said earlier, turning education to action, that is so important, because the education and the history is what gives the work reverence, and it adds that importance to the work that we do. Honor, there we go, that's a better word, it's late. But yeah, and so that that transition is huge. And like you said, you can come, right, for the money and leave for the money, but you have moved somewhere along that spectrum, and no matter how little, that growth is important.
it is, because it's a seed. That's what it really is. Like Action Academy, I'll use this sprinkling salt. Like Action Academy is the first step, and we see that for real. And you've seen all of the speakers so far. Like they entered Action Academy as the starting point, and more than half of our like young speakers tonight were in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
You, me, Sam, Puya,
Yeah,
right? And every other speaker has been on the ground at least once.
that's right.
So this is really the start, like, because education is how, again, you honor the work, how you give meaning to what you do and the context for how to do it. But really, at the end of the day, you got to do it. Like, you actually have to do it.
Yeah, and
Um,
I love that both of you are saying the action piece, because that is definitely a principle of ours, our bias to action, right? But I want to note what you both spoke about. And even though you all came in and being enticed by the money, what you gained out of it is not so much, yes, the knowledge, of course, but a sense of empathy, right? A sense of empathy for each other in your journey through learning this really hard set of truths, right? But then also empathy for the marginalized, whether you see yourself in them or you're learning from them, or you hear from the civil rights leaders who come in to facilitate and to speak about their own experiences when they started a political journey, being of the same age, right? Bob Zellner was in college, John Lewis was in college, Charles Malden was a high school student, right? So you start to, like you're saying, you see yourself in them. And that's where we anchor this knowledge, and this we anchor the learning in empathy. And when you walk away with that and you start to realize that is your compass, and how we're going to navigate and collaborate democracy is getting that understanding of empathy, of how people's journeys are different. And so if we can start to instill that mindset in young people that early, then let's do this new movement of a new generation of young folks who are just carrying that empathy compass. So thank you both for being here and just elaborating a little bit more about the program themselves. I am honored that both of you have grown into it. You came into it with whatever reason you came into it, but you've discovered yourself through it and you're continuing to grow with it. And that is a testament to the program. That's testament to the people who support you as young leaders who will carry this forward and to impact other lives as you go through the program. Our segment, unfortunately, is up, but I know you all are going to stay up. Thank you both, live from Florida. Ben and Matthew, get some sleep if you can, I know. And we're off to our next segment to learn more about amazing folks who are joining us in this 24-hour teach-in. We have more guest speakers and teachers and professors. I'm also recruiting for Action Academy. Make a note here, Ben and Matthew. There are some amazing teachers here that would probably love to facilitate most, if not all, their work into the Academy. So please go to cpfuture.org, get your students or any young person you know that's in your life right now, or who you come across with, to a barista someplace, or somebody that is somebody who's 18 to 24. cpfuture.org has all the information that they're going to need to sign up and to learn more about Action Academy. We hope to see you all there. And thank you again for tuning in as late as you are. Let's continue forward and end this really, really well. Thank you both.